This game contains imagery or depictions that may be unsuitable for those under the age of 13. Those aren't words you usually hear before playing a typical Mario game, but this isn't your typical Mario game. This is Mario the Music Box. Man, now that's awesome. A little backstory. Mario the Music Box is a completely fan-made horror puzzle game starring Mario and Luigi, similar to games like Corpse Party and Yume Nikki. The game is, to put it simply, very, very dark. Heading to the official Mario the Music Box website, the creator of the game said, and I quote, "This game is what I had in my inner thoughts, my demons, my emotions, and my mental condition. During the years I started to create Mario the Music Box, I was going through therapy for my emotional distress. I poured all my inner thoughts into this game. This is why there's so many depictions of death and suicide." So yeah, definitely not your typical colorful frolic through the Mushroom Kingdom. But a very unique experience lies ahead. This game was literally made through the eyes of someone who was in a very dark place at the time. Essentially, putting us in their head, seeing what he sees. Man, I'm already kinda freaked out, to be honest. But let's begin. The game starts up with a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, anime-inspired intro. Let this intro set the tone for this game. Both atmosphere-wise and art-wise, it's all around quality. So here's the story. Mario has heard rumors of an abandoned home that has been close to the Mushroom Kingdom for over a century. That people who go inside it never come back. Mario and Princess Peach were supposed to investigate this home together, but Mario decides to go alone. After investigating the creepy exterior of the home, we find a crowbar and decide to do some breaking and entering. Once we step inside, it already feels like we should get the heck out of here. But Mario persists, eventually stumbling upon a mysterious music box. Oh, I wonder who turned on this music box. What? It's winding itself. Whoa! Mamma Mia is correct! Maybe we should get out of here. So now the house is completely pitch black, and while attempting to leave, we discover that there's some color on these walls. The house is now covered in blood, and Mario starts hearing voices. Before we know it, the front door we came through is now mysteriously missing. Great. That's just great, because now that means we have to explore this big haunted house and try and find a way out. Here's a door. Oh my. So yeah, if navigating through a haunted house wasn't hard enough, this place is littered with traps and gratuitous ways of killing off Mario. It's kinda depressing, seeing our lovable hero Mario get in situations where he gets stalked by ghosts and have his lungs fill with water until he dies, or hide in a crate and be found by this creep. I found you. Stranger danger, I need an adult. A lot of this game is trial and error, considering that we, the player, are just as confused as Mario as to where we are. So you're gonna be checking every nook and cranny and observing every item. Sometimes it's good and helps progress the story, and other times, this happens. Little ghost girls who are probably not friendly. Eventually, Mario comes across a book, and another little ghost girl seems to possess Mario, repeatedly saying, "I'll kill you, I'll kill you, kill, kill, kill." Then Luigi shows up. "Hi Luigi, you're an expert in mansions, I hear. You could come in handy." So we then take control of Luigi in search of Mario. Man, Luigi walking around a mansion. That'd be a pretty good game. We eventually do find Mario, but it's a little too late. He's pretty much been possessed and not in control of his body. So, Luigi does what Luigi does best. Runs like a little chicken. With all of this running, we eventually run into this kid, Reba. Hello. Also, what are you doing in this house? Reba comes off as your typical good boy anime JRPG protagonist, so we'll tag along. I have a soft spot for people like that. And as Bubsy would say, what could possibly go wrong? This is where the game really picks up, and talking about the plot more would involve some pretty heavy spoilers. The game honestly has a genuine unsettling and creep factor to it. As I mentioned earlier, this does help with the fact that the creator was in a pretty dark place when making this. I'm not too sure what it is exactly. I think the fact that it's Mario and Luigi, characters who we're used to seeing in colorful and seemingly harmless situations, now in a realistic setting ghost story, involving graphic ways of dying. Kinda hurts my childhood. In a weird, sick fascination sorta way, the death scenes are one of the most interesting things in the game. It's like, how is our hero gonna bite the dust this time? Oh? That's nice. Man, and the artwork is so high quality that it makes these death scenes all the more effective. The game also has multiple endings, 5 to be exact, and each one, well, let's just say there's no ending where Mario and Peach have some cake and everyone lives happily ever after. But that's the thing, this is a horror game. Sometimes there isn't that super happy light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there's a dark, harsh lesson, who knows? Mario the Music Box is a true horror game. This game holds nothing back. The dialogue is unsettling, the atmosphere is beyond creepy, with a continuous sense of dread throughout the entire experience. Every single room you enter, your body is so tense, and your mind is racing thinking, oh god, what's gonna be thrown at me now? And the crazy amount of death scenes told in gruesome detail is just so haunting. If you're a huge horror game fan and want to be genuinely disturbed and creeped out, definitely give Mario the Music Box a go. Now, this is the end of the review. But if you're like me and after watching a horror movie, you need to watch some cartoons to get unscared, then this is for you. Here's a short review of Courage the Cowardly Dog, one of my favorite cartoons growing up. This was a cartoon that aired on Cartoon Network, following the everyday adventures of a very timid dog who was adopted by the ever-so-sweet and loving Muriel and her husband, Eustace. Yeah, he's kind of a jerk. Each episode of Courage usually revolved around something supernatural and paranormal happening, such as headless, fully cooked chickens wanting to rip off Courage's head with a toilet plunger, talking cockroaches, floating human-like heads, and Egyptian pharaohs with curses.
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
What's your offer?
Courage the Cowardly Dog really walked the line of a cute, wacky child cartoon and a nightmarish fever dream. I think that's what was so interesting about the show, the fact that as a child, it piqued our sick fascination of creepiness and the paranormal, while still managing to give us an entertaining cartoon.
It would be lovely if I could have a cup of tea.
Courage's screams were some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Heck, there was even an episode that paid tribute to The Exorcist, one of the most famous horror movies of all time. Courage is a timeless classic, full of laughs, smiles, and of course, spooks.